What's up, Loquex? So in today's video, I'm going to be decorating my sketchbook. I'm going to be decorating the front and back of it, and this time, there's a special twist. This sketchbook is very colorful, and it's experimental as well. I decided to try something different, mainly because I was inspired by a couple of artists and aesthetics in general. I was inspired by the candy core aesthetic. I was inspired by Hikari Shimoda's artwork, Gummy Gunk, and Lisa Frank. I wanted to have a sketchbook cover that basically embodied the unicorn vomit, candy vomit, just take a bunch of bright colors and just splatter them everywhere, paint drip, stickers, glitter, just everything, and just put it onto a sketchbook cover and call it a day. I wanted to look just really cutesy and colorful, and also kind of like a little bit like graffiti in a way. I don't know, I just thought it would be a fun idea to make for a sketchbook cover and for a video. So I filmed the entire process except for the inside cover because I don't want the video to be too long. So unfortunately I did not film that part, but everything else I did film, and I hope you guys enjoy the process of it. This is a Canton manga sketchbook. I got it from Michael's, and it seems like it's a new thing. I thought it'd be interesting to try a different type of sketchbook, so that's why I bought it. It's like $12. And for the scrapbook paper, some of it's actually special because it's from a Hello Kitty book. It was from a magazine that I just saw at the grocery store, and it was for Hello Kitty's 50th anniversary, so it had a lot of good pages for scrapbooking. So I spent a lot of time cutting things out, and it really contributed to the overall cutesy candy-like aesthetic that I was going for. So I just kind of put a bunch of stuff on it and was like, okay, I need this to be as pink as possible. I need it to be very pink and blue, and pops of yellow, but mostly pink, because that is the #1 color. So as you can see, it is very pink and very cutesy, and that's my entire vibe. And I love how the base looked. Part of me was a little sad because in the final, it's a bit covered. Some aspects are not visible, but that's also okay because the whole point is that it's supposed to be just a bunch of cutesy chaos, so I don't mind. And for the back, I also did the same amount of effort for it, so it's kind of hard to distinguish which side is which, but since the inside cover is already done, I think as long as that side is flipped over, it should be easy to tell. But yeah, I would say I had fun decorating the cover in terms of just putting the scrapbook paper down. That's usually my favorite part of decorating sketchbooks in general, but adding all the embellishments and stuff is the second fun part. After adding all the scrapbook paper, it is now time to start painting. This is the fun part. Watching the paint drip down is just so satisfying. It was also a little nerve-wracking because I was worried that it would make a mess, and it kind of did, but thankfully it wasn't a big mess. It was just like the easel I had the book on just got a little messy, but that's okay. And thankfully, surprisingly, the inside of the book did not have much paint damage from it. Like, usually when I decorate sketchbook covers, sometimes the inside of the book will have like a bunch of paint residue or something, but because I taped the pages around this time, it actually turned out pretty clean. So I was happy about that, but I wouldn't be too upset if it did turn out a little messy, because I don't mind my sketchbooks being messy. They aren't supposed to be neat, or I want them to be messy. But yeah, I'm going to let the paint just drip down and let you guys watch the satisfying aspect of it, because it is just so nice to watch. So now that the paint drip is finally dried and done, it is now time to add the acrylic marker effects on top of it. I just did a bunch of scribbles because I wanted it to look kind of like graffiti or scrapbook paper, like something very textured and just have a lot of stuff on top of it. I also didn't like how muddy some of the colors were when I had the paint dripping down. The yellow blended with the blue, but it made it look kind of ugly. And then the hot pink, one thing I realized about neon paint is that when it dries, it like the color kind of changes. With hot pink, it always goes from like, you know, a pink to more of a like reddish pink, which is very annoying, and I should have realized that, but whatever. So I had to cover some parts of it with the acrylic marker to make it more pink rather than this reddish bright pink. But I didn't mind the pops of neon in some aspects because I felt like that kind of added to like the sort of chaotic and in-your-face vibe I was going for. But yeah, there was no rhyme or reason for what I was just scribbling down. I just put down whatever. It was mostly just swirls. I also did a lot of like smudging just to add more like, I don't know, texture. I'm losing my words, but I was just doing random shit and just calling it a day, you know? Like I wanted it to look very, I'm just repeating myself, but I wanted it to look cluttered and chaotic, and the swirls just kind of added to it, I think. So I definitely had fun with this. This was the part I was looking forward to the most because it was the part where I knew I could go crazy. But also adding the stickers, that was also the fun part, which you're going to see soon. for the stickers, I brought out the big guns. I brought out the Lisa Frank stickers, the Sanrio stickers, the star stickers. I got the entire thing out. I was like, you know what? Let's make this cluttered sticker core, candy core, all the cores. It's gonna be bright, colorful. It's gonna be cutesy as hell. It's gonna look like a unicorn just threw up on a book and called it a day. I wanted to look like the most cutesy, colorful, chaotic mess ever, and I really think the stickers added to it, because let's be real, if a unicorn did vomit, I feel like it would vomit up Sanrio stickers. I don't know, the visual of like a unicorn vomiting, just Sanrio stickers sounds really funny. But yeah, I just had fun adding a bunch of stuff together, and I really love like the visual aesthetic of just cluttered stuff and just stickers and paint drip. That's why, like, when I remember seeing Gummy Gunk's art specifically for the first time, and that like really inspired me. And that's kind of like the main inspiration. Hikari Shimoda's art also was an inspiration, but not all of her art was that inspo. More specifically, a couple of pieces that came to mind. And as for Lisa Frank, it was more of just the color palette, because Lisa Frank's art tends to be very bright and uses an excessive amount of pink, but it's also like rainbow colored. Like, no Lisa Frank picture is devoid of a rainbow color palette. Everything is rainbow and sparkly, and honestly, I think the world would be better if it was rainbow and sparkly. And now here is the part where I'm taking off the tape. This is also a real-time footage thing because it was very satisfying. And as you see, the book is very, very clean. Not a lick of paint got on it, and I was very happy about that because I was worried a lot of paint would get on it. Then I put Mod Podge on top to seal everything because I did not want the book to be ruined. So yeah, the Mod Podge definitely like helped with that. And now it's the moment of truth. This is the sketchbook and it's finished. As I said before, I didn't show the process of decorating the inside of it because I didn't want the video to be too long. So that's the sketchbook. Hope you guys enjoyed the process video, and I'll see you quacks later.